Okay, so good evening and welcome everyone to our lovely campaign here. Those who amuse the fates. Quick roll call and then recap, and we will dive into where we last left off. Um, Adaman
Yeah,
over there guarding the cart. Ari,
Yes.
Aldrix,
Hello.
and Abrash.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So, where we last left off in our tale of vivid compulsion, the party, following the clues of a woman in white having come to their campsite, leading them into a forest clearing, uh, at which point she let loose a horrific scream, revealing her body, um, opting to give it a quick investigation. Come the sunrise, the a lot of you went and got some rest, took what information you could, came, began to investigate the body. You were assailed upon by a group of undead, ghoulish fiends. A couple of you noticed a shadowy figure looming on the edge of the battle. Fast forward a bit further, through the heavy rains, you managed to follow what looked to be well-worn cart tracks. Um, no, noted. Um, Picking up a small broken teddy bear and effectively making your way to the lumber village of Falst. Um, Here, the party set the cart aside in some of the new growth and recent clearings before easing their way into town, starting with Aldrich and soon followed by Audi and Abrash. Ottoman, for whatever particular reason, and had nothing to do with the fact, I guess we jokingly said off camera, the GM not wanting to play his character for him, sat with the cart and the draft horse, doing what, like I said, noted there, Ottoman, major squinting. Um, Getting into town, the three of you noticed several undead milling about in the various residences. Most notably, out of the buildings, a large warehouse was underway of being scouted out. Um, a stout halfling had caught your attention, sort of trying to give you warning to slow down, but really not paying him too much mind. Uh, Aldrich proceeded to the rear of the warehouse and found a sizable horde of undead and drew their attention. Um, a fight ensued, including one of these shaded figures dipping in and out between through the masonry of the only stone building, the warehouse, um, stunning Aldrich with fear. But overcoming this with beaten, battered, and bruising, the party managed to fell with the assistance of what later learned the name of the halfling Pedsel, a forester who had been trying to help some of the captives. The party opened up the warehouse and released the women and children that had been held captive. Revealed to you that the older of the lot had their tongues removed and they were unable to speak. Getting them away from the gruesome scene, with the assistance again of Pedsel, began to get them fed, watered, and just beginning the slow and the long process to at least feel a modicum of humanity once more. Uh, Pitzel and one of the elders, the oldest of the women, uh, uh, Hildegard, I believe it's, yeah, Hildegard, Gildermain. Um, you were brought to her residence where you found the unfortunate slumped corpse of her husband as well as a few other men of her residence. Petzl offered to take care of that, knowing that the undead had been digging a large hole and was in the midst of disposing of the bodies. And whilst using some ink and parchment, Hildegard, to try and explain just what in the Nine Hells has happened here to Aldrich and Ari, um, Abrish noticed an opportunity. Having not fed for nearing a 10-day, ravenous and predatory nature, he followed Pitzel alone behind the warehouse, or so he thought. And without word, without request, took the halfling and drained him dry against his own inclination, attempting to only enough to sate his hunger before discarding the halfling's body into the very hole that had become a mass grave for the villagers. Here we pick up as you turn to see the elder of the two sisters. Um, Previously, the lady in white, her soul had asked you so desperately to help. Clearly standing there with one of the discarded axes held in her hand. And that's where we pick up. Abrish, you're being stared down by a angsty teenager.
And I'm like holding.
Oh, you've tossed the halfling, like you drained him dry and threw him in. That was your wisdom save.
Right,
Is you
right,
you were
right.
unable to stop yourself from fully feeding upon him.
Abrashes, and this is a teenager I'm looking at.
Uh, you would gauge she's anywhere between 13 and 15. Um, and you know for a fact that this is one of the two daughters that your compulsion had brought you to that woman's body, and it was her request that you save this girl and the other younger one, Sada, the one you saw Aldrich give the broken little teddy bear soldier to, just outside of the church. It is right now. It is just the two of you.
Child, think you should put down that axe.
Oh, what? You'll kill me too.
No one else need die tonight.
Is it bad that like I immediately wanted to be like this snarky little teenager and tell you that it was not nighttime? But without seeing you making any particular approaches, she begins one step, beginning to slowly backpedal around, not breaking eye contact with you, and not lowering the axe.
We are here to help you, you know. Abrash is gonna call after a little smirk crossing over his face.
Yeah, we're gonna help you as the halfling's blood is still running down your chin. As soon as she breaks like physical line of sight, you can see a splash of mud, knowing she kicked off and ran. Um, you're not sure where, other than at least along the wall of the warehouse.
Uh,
Which
can
is,
I circle around the other side and try and cut her off?
you're fairly sure that if you try to go all the way around, there's no way you're gonna be like. She's not
Yeah.
she's not sub gnome speed here. She's not been able to get up and get her legs stretched for a while, so she's not running at peak uh, movement. But you also know that in the front of that would bring you around and through the front where all the other women and children currently were being taken care of. It is also at that time that you can hear the slow churn of the wheels of the cart.
Alright, Abrash won't follow. Not immediately.
Okay. Ottoman, as you get roughly to town center, you see come from there's for your mental picture there are several wooden shacks, none of which currently have, excuse me, one of which has a hearth fire. Hildegard having started a fire to start warming the place up. Um, most notable, there's the building to the north of the town, a large wooden structure. Um, that before the rest of them had gone in, Abarish had sort of surmised openly that that was likely where the actual mill resided, for the purpose of this town's primary function.
Mm-hmm.
And as you come around one of the eastern residences, you can see a handful of middle-aged women sort of doting on children, trying to get them cleaned up using the rain to their advantage. Some of them having gone and gotten some soap out of their residences to get the grime of being captive for quite some time. And then from around the warehouse, you see a spindly teenage girl come kicking mud up with an axe in hand. She's not screaming. She doesn't, like, vocally doesn't seem panicked, but she seems very alert.
Um, can I tell by like looking at her what her intention is for with that axe?
Go ahead and roll an insight. Okay. Um, you're pretty sure she's not about to go all American Psycho on anyone here, as most of her body language is this quick flick constantly over her left shoulder, as if looking back the way she's come to see if she was being followed by someone. As she skids to a halt next to one of the smallest youths in the group, who's happily sitting on the ground, like in a little crouch position, playing with the teddy bear you had previously seen Aldrich show the party back from the clearing.
Oh, the teddy bear.
Yes. And I will even say likelihood is you're familiar, that you introduced to everyone, very briefly introduced to everyone with like no context. Managed to get some intel while you were staying at the cart, and you know that these two are the two young girls that your compulsion had led you to.
That we saved, or
That your party saved.
okay. Yeah, I will hobble my way that direction and ask them if they had seen which way the rest of my compatriots went.
The youth, most of the children kind of look at you as in your heavy wraps and your hood pulled tight over you to try and cover as much of yourself as possible. Again, feel free to correct any physicalities, but I believe that's your normal description.
Yeah, very, very much. He kind of trying to hide what his body looks like.
Um, they just see this mystery man rolling up, and most of them get very skittish and so too do most of the women. When you begin to inquire as to your party members, um, one of them wordlessly just points to one of the shacks just west of the warehouse. The one with the wisp of smoke freshly pulling out of the chimney.
Ah, thank you so much. And seeing their that little bit of like fear and skittishness about me, I will give them a little bit of a smile and tell them not to worry. The ragman is not here to drag them off into the woods today. And then continue on towards where they pointed me.
Okay. Um,
I meant it jokingly. They can take it however they wish.
I did roll for them.
Yeah.
They're not any less skittish.
Yep.
As you cross the two sisters, you hear the one with the axe, sort of that sassy teenage hiss that, as I, a grown man, cannot do. Are you here to help like the other one did?
Possibly.
It's up to you whether you would be coming around the warehouse or hiding still.
Yeah.
Avarash would be coming around, maybe wiping his face clean with a little cloth. Keeps an inside pocket for that purpose, but just sort of coming around, seemingly nothing amiss to him.
Okay. So
At their inquiry, I would say yes. I would be happy to help along with my friends. How can I assist you?
as Avarish enters the scene, you see her grip tighten around the haft of the axe. She actually steps, seemingly to try and step behind you, to interpose you between you and him.
Okay.
You brought a monster with you, mister.
Did she touch me?
She did not. She has not touched you now.
Okay. Okay. Good.
The little one is still sitting there playing. She is completely oblivious to the scene. Artie, Aldrich, Pidsel has been gone a while. Albertus has straight up. He just has not come into the residence. And you can vaguely hear Adamant's voice carry there just outside the door.
So, did I know why they came to town?
The two kids.
Well, like,
Oh,
and the rest of the party.
Or the party. The party was coming here to scout out what happened, and then you heard the sounds of battle, which, before your little blurb over there on the side, Sai had actually gone over to sort of keep an eye on things and filled you in, like, yeah, no, they're fighting undead. I wouldn't go there. They're going to get their ass whooped.
Right.
And then he proceeded to do that, because, yeah, it's our stuff anyways.
So we all followed the wagon tracks. This is how we found this village.
Correct.
Right.
Okay. I forget the exact conversation we were having inside again, but if we kind of wrap that up, I would, look to make my way back.
You chopping up for anyone else?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's speaking in binary.
Most of what I got to be able to reply to. The conversation you were having with Hilda was effectively some strange creature had arrived, took the men bit by bit, converted them into undead, kept them working, and most importantly, kept regular shipments going out and into the village. By now, You guys would have had time to ask her a couple questions if you'd like.
Him being the guy that some of us saw, some of us only heard, I think is what it was.
You all heard him later into the combat, the creature.
Yes, when she's saying like him, I guess I'm curious to know more of him who is creating these undead and using them as free labor.
She describes physically as best she can as a running out of like trying to fit as much onto the single sheet of parchment she had available, unless someone wants to provide some more. That it was she straight up just draws like a blob, a humanoid, shadowy blob. As most of us assumed they were just wearing heavy dark clothing when we finally got our eyes on them, and then being tied up in sat in the dark warehouse for so long. This is all we ever really saw. It never he never spoke to us, not so much as a word. He had and you see her hand shake. One of the men remove our tongues so that we would likewise remain silent. I do not know why he spared the children, but I'm am beyond grateful to the gods above that he did.
I'm sure just when FK, I was gonna, yeah, if he's there, I don't know if he's able to, what his healing capabilities are, if that's something that's fixable with magic.
The AFK Aldrich is able to tell you that he is currently nowhere near adept enough at the faith, his faith chilling, to be able to regrow tongues. And it would be about this time that you can hear Adamant's voice carrying on the wind.
Okay, yeah, I'd thank her greatly for the information. We can try to track down this dark figure, stop him from doing this to any others. Let us know if we can provide assistance to your community. And I step out, give them some time, see what's going on. Make sure that there's no new undead outside.
So as you step outside, that's about roughly the same time Arush comes around the warehouse, wiping his mouth clean with a cloth. And you can see Lilith currently now standing behind Adamant, who was guiding the cart closer to you guys. And she is like dagger glaring towards Arush.
So, how's everybody doing out here?
I'm doing quite well.
Under her breath, Adamant, you barely hear her whisper once again, "That one is a monster."
I intentionally didn't reply.
Welcome back, Aldrich.
Okay. Well, I've got a little bit of info on the supposed leader that was causing all this problem. I don't know if we've got enough to try and track him down, but let me share what the lady shared with me. See if anybody's heard something else. Although I'd rather talk about it somewhere where, without disturbing any others. It's not exactly a happy tale.
All the others currently here experience the tale.
You're telling that, or is a specific person actually saying that?
That's just me, like reminding you that
Okay.
everyone that is currently
Yeah.
present there in the courtyard was captive in the warehouse.
I'm just thinking us talking through it for them to relive it
Yeah.
isn't the greatest.
The younger of the two sisters looks up and says, "Are we going back to Mother now?"
Yeah, we need to sit down and talk.
She just sits right there and looks up at you. Just those big doughy eyes, hugging her little teddy bear.
I try to like motion her sister over so they can be together with this news.
Yeah, she refuses to move anywhere that is nearer to Aberdash. Like seeing like she's now said multiple times to Adamant and he's done nothing, she's now starting to back away from him.
I just kind of look back and forth a little bit between the two of them. Sorry, apparently I'm missing what's been going on. Perhaps us three can talk about it, I guess, over this way by your sister? Trying to get the younger one to go join her older sister.
She gets up out of the mud, leaving the little imprint, and skips over to her sister, who is still like hard gripping the haft of a woodsman axe, and like grabs onto the edge of her pants. And just, come on, the hero's gonna talk to us. We should go.
Does she seem way as I approach, like just trying to like, I'll hold like my palms out, just kind of looking back, like, I'm, unaware as to what she's upset about, but trying to come closer so I could talk to her.
You see, she more scans the rest of the villagers, and once again, like gesturing with the head of the axe toward the Abrish. That one, you've brought a monster, and she's clearly trying not to say it so loud as to cause any panic.
I Abrush, but I assume that there's no telling signs anymore.
He had wiped the last of it off his lips as you came up the building.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean. Talking softly, more softly to her, as opposed to letting my voice carry even to Abrush, but I haven't known him for long, so there's more for me to learn, I guess. I'm not sure what kind of monster you mean. I agree that people that fight dark forces are not always the most family friendly.
Avarish, are you doing anything? As like, it is very evident she is multiple times now accusing you of your nature to your party.
Abrash will just sort of approach, still keeping like a respectful distance. His hands very clearly not reaching for his sword.
Every step, she steps back.
After like the second or third, he'll stop and sort of quirk an eyebrow up at her, and say, "I do not know what is wrong with the child. Perhaps she sustained a head wound?
Then where's the little man? And she says this loud enough you see multiple villagers starting to like, what's going on? Like they're finally realizing that, like, oh shit, they just now seem to realize she's got an axe in her hand and she's standing very defensively and aggressively against you guys.
We risked life and limb to help this little town child.
And then you murder their friend and throw him in a hole. Several others are like the panic is starting to spread.
I would ask that you keep your voice down.
Aldrich,
I mean,
you're still in the hut, but you can hear that you don't hear what's being said, but there's definitely an edge to the tone.
I will head out.
Ari, Ottoman, anything you want to do before she replies?
I mean, I would speak up to the fact that, I mean, yeah, when we came in, I think that some of the members were controlled. They weren't animated bodies, as much as I don't like to discuss it with kids. We had to fend them off. I don't remember anybody getting thrown in a hole, though.
It was after the fighting. That one, he like hard gestures with the axe, almost swinging it in Avarish's direction. He killed the halfling.
I did no such thing.
Let me look at my sheet.
I think deception checks might be needed now.
A deception check is absolutely needed now.
And I'm gonna be rolling my Oh!
Nat 20 doesn't mean it's an automatic success, I remind you.
Are you fucking kidding
Are
me?
you fucking kidding me?
Oh! I will remain silent for now.
Insight.
Damn.
I just wanted a third one.
That would have been
Who
perfect.
got it?
I will not say anything. Just a small little smile on my face.
For the record, most of the villagers seem to trust you, if nothing else. It's not like, hey, you're our best friends, but they don't see why you would lie. Like, they saw you. They didn't see you doing any of the fighting, but they did see you standing outside of the warehouse at the aftermath when they were being freed. Which only infuriates the young woman as she like stomps on the ground. I saw him do it. He went back there behind the halfling who he bit him. And she like grabs her little sister and pulls her behind her. Like this being the first time that she's not had two hands on the axe.
Child, I mean no harm to you or your little sister. Think we would all appreciate it. Calmed down a little.
I'll stand in between the pair with my back towards the girls. And finally back in roll 20.
Abrash will sort of quirk his head a little bit. Just studying Ari with an intense gaze.
Yeah, with that look, I mean, like, I've known children to have great imaginations, but they rarely make up stories as such unprovoked.
I can prove it. He left the body in the hole.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
The tone is what did it. No.
Holes are a myth. They do not exist in nature. You are making up falsehoods. Head wound.
But she's not bleeding from the head.
Do all wounds require blood? I think not. Could they sustain a hit?
I mean, how do you know she got hit in the head?
Well, she's making up such outlandish falsehoods.
I will point out they have been through a very traumatic experience as well.
Precise.
Hey, Avarice,
Drama.
can I get a perception check from you?
I asked the girl where the hole is. I'll go look. Assuming that I've got.
I need the
somebody
perception
else that
check
can
from
see, like, the whole ground
from
and
Avarice
stand
first.
between the-
But like you are aware of the hole, because you had one physically seen it during the fight. Two, Petzl had actively said he was going to be bringing the bodies behind the warehouse to dispose of bodies. And he had actively been like the door was left open. You saw him constantly coming, grabbing a body, dragging it back. Avarice, perception check is of vital importance, sir. Okay, never mind. You don't see shit. But hearing Artie offer to prove her claim, she will follow you specifically to show you the body in the hole. And upon arrival, you don't see any halfling body in the hole. Adam, can I get a stealth check for your boy?
Is that to stealth? Where is his stealth if he has senses? Stealth is Dex?
Yes. It is a I would give advantage for him being invisible, but something else isn't. So
Right. No, I understand.
Yeah.
Made perfect sense to me.
Okay. Double digits. Looks like a 16. Oh, by the way, they on
That is
Crow,
a 16.
yeah. Which
Oh,
I
God.
think everyone's passive beats.
That's what you guys were talking about.
Yes, that's what we were talking about.
Lines do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it only does it like on
Yeah.
one or the other, and apparently if you cache clear, you'll be fine. But I cache cleared and I'm not, so it's ugly. It's so ugly.
No, I saw you guys talking about that last week, and I'm like, man, I never had that issue with any of my rolls, and I'm on Chrome.
Oh, it's happening on Firefox 2 now. No. Oh God, the stream is not safe from it. So yeah, is there anyone who doesn't have 16? Because I don't have my GM fancy little GM
I
set up
think
here.
I'm the highest at 15.
Okay, so ain't none of y'all see this.
Nope.
Yeah, nope. Scorpion, we're just gonna let that one go to the grave. Just you and me.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so yeah, Artie, you arrive at the hole. There's several drag marks going to and from it, but again, you know these bodies didn't get here by themselves. You know the halfling was the one who was putting most of these bodies in here. None of them are halflings. They are all humans, dwarves, and other hardy folk.
You say there's drag marks away from the hole.
Yeah,
We shouldn't be. To my knowledge, nobody was dragging bodies away from the hole.
there are drag marks two, as in like there's a path. Like he used pretty much roughly the same path.
Yeah.
Um. Nope. No halfling. And she is freaking out.
I mean, I would look if there are drag marks away from the hole, or otherwise it's hop down in the hole to see if he's underneath other bodies.
Yeah. Did anyone else at the party go with?
Oh, that's not a good idea. You should stay out of the hole. That's a good way to catch a disease.
I give a bit of an eye. Is there something else you're trying to say?
No, it's just, I mean, body holes have a lot of diseases.
To be fair, Ari, these have been undead for a while.
I agree. I don't want to do it. But this proves his innocence, right?
I would think that it would.
As he effectively is like right behind Lilith, who I remind you, freaking out, has an axe, and hears his voice right behind her. She jumps in the fucking hole.
Oh, I thought she was gonna swing.
She rolled. She rolled flight over fight. Her little sister is looking up at you like, once again, the absolute like Cindy Lou Who's stupid, adorable, innocence of the world eyes up at you.
At me?
At you. You do, for the record, you do not scare her. You do not seem to demand like any extra respect from her. She's just little girl adorbs. As her sister just jumped into a hole full of bodies.
Abrash is gonna reach out and just give her like 2 soft pats on the head.
I'll try to pick up the older girl and calm her down. Like, Abrash, that really does not help. You're just making it worse.
Well, oh, are you trying to get the girl, or?
Ari was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll athletics. This is going to be a grapple check. She is thrashing to try and crawl away across the bodies and onto the other side of the hole.
I would just let her go then.
Okay.
And just be in between. Like, Abrash, you need to back up from her sister. This does not help at all. You're just reinforcing her stance.
Okay.
I have done nothing wrong. Very well.
You're coming up behind her. She clearly doesn't want you there.
I was merely coming to look at the hole of bodies that we are all deciding to play in, apparently.
No, some of us are working, trying to cause less problems.
So she has crawled down out to the other side of the hole. This poor girl, just like covered in undead viscera.
Right.
We literally saved their lives. A little gratitude, I think, is...
You feel like a little hug around your leg, Aberish.
I don't do it for the fame and glory. That's not why I'm here at all. I don't need their adoration.
I'm not talking about adoration, I'm talking a little gratitude. Although this is nice. Another few head pats for the small.
As you're like head patting, you hear, not too dissimilar from the one you surmised to be her mother, another violent scream. That I'm not going to do for the sake of your eardrums and that I don't want to wake up my roommates. Get away from her, you monster. I know what I saw.
See? Making it worse. Leave them alone. Both of them.
This one is hugging me. I'm the innocent party in both situations, but in this one, especially, I did nothing wrong.
Because you came up behind her. Because you're patting her
A
head.
man is not allowed to walk? I thought this was a terrible, free, oppressive hellscape we lived in, but the man is no longer allowed to walk near mass
Abrash?
graves.
Not
I just
near
wanted to go for a
people.
walk near the mass grave.
Not
Abrash?
near people that feel life threatening from. She is
Abrash?
fearing for her life. Leave her alone. Stay away from her sister.
Abrash?
You tell that to the sister. I'm being harassed. Not really, little one. But I am being harassed by this adorable little monster.
She has the little one has no idea what's going on. But like sensing the distress from her sister, like let's go, and, like just gives you a little wave, and she begins running to go and try and calm her sister down. Like no words, just like this happy, gleeful little light in this shithole of a world, running over to her sister.
Abrash will wave back. Must protect.
Yeah, you just say must protect only because your belly's full right now.
Also known as keeping around the juice box for later.
Ari being the nearest, you can very distinctly hear as the scene slightly calms down from the little's actions. She's, please, Lilith, they're going to take us back to Mother. It's going to be okay. I need everyone to roll a wisdom save, please. Aberration and Ari are the two struck. You are would be so kind. Go ahead and roll me a d5. Okay.
I literally can only tell what I rolled because of the green outline.
I can tell what you rolled. It's not pleasant.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ari, as the words fall and drain into the earth, you hear the sound of the axe release from the little girl's hands, and she hugs her little sister, like clearly still not thrilled with what's going on, as you are struck, temporarily blind, with the image of a scroll, paperwork, brickwork, maybe. It's another one of these shattered, fragmented pictures, and it's gone in a blink. Abrish, you are greeted with a flash of the same picture that had begun this whole ordeal. Some ethereal figure looming over another, or a building shattering, something on fire. It's gone. As the two of you stagger back and take 12 psychic damage.
Oh.
Yeah, I have to grip my head. God.
Gods above, what the hell was that?
You feel that compulsion, all four of you, the tug, leading you back the way you came. But likewise, leading you to the two sisters.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Arash will sort of rub his head. That was excruciating. He sort of looks around, seeing if others are sort of showing similar symptoms. His eyes fall on Ari and raises an eyebrow. You as well.
Yeah. I don't know, something like bricks or scrollwork or something.
Saw, I think, a figure, the knife, or They on fire. There's all a haze.
Admin Aldrich over here. Perfectly fine.
We good here.
I'll turn to the girls. Look, I don't have an easy way to share this with you, but your mother fell in the woods back before the cart turned to this village. That is, we followed the cart tracks to come and find you, to return the bear that was dropped.
Little Sarah looks back at you. Mind you, you're having this conversation across a hole full of dead bodies.
Right.
Because she had run around to go hug her sister, and you'd left.
Away.
Yeah. But she's. So you're not going to take us to Mother?
We can take you to where she was.
I don't think you would like that, though.
We could get you back to your village.
As you're making your way around the hole, the two of them clearly seem to whispers. And it's again the youngest. We would very much like to see Mother. We've missed her so. Please.
Is your father still around?
They kind of look at each other confused and shake their heads. Still not trusting, but a layer of something seems to have been stripped from the eldest. As herself, you notice has a small trickle from one of her nostrils of blood. You're pretty sure she took the damage too.
The younger one, or the older one?
The older one.
Okay.
Just never knew our father.
I mean, where your mother fell is on the way back to your village. I think I'm correct in that. That's not necessarily out of the way.
I mean, it's sort of like a crescent path, but it is the easier path through the wood,
Okay.
as opposed to if you're going to take the cart.
Yeah.
Which I'll note, no one's actually investigated to try and find the cart that you followed here as of yet.
Oh.
We've been a little busy.
A little busy. Not murdering halflings, apparently.
Yeah. You know what, Albrecht? Let's go look for that cart.
I think we could arrange that, yes.
I'm sure we have plenty to talk about.
Perhaps. Come, let's go find it.
Yes, I'll catch up in a moment. I want to do something about this pit.
I don't remember what time of day it is, but we could probably suggest to the girls that we could get some rest here with the others, and then we could travel back to your village.
Early afternoon.
Okay. Be good for everybody, I think. We could get a bit of rest and then head out in the morning.
Okay. They seem very much inclined to follow you specifically for obvious reasons. One of them thinks that your other party member was a murderer. Adam, what are you going to do to the pit?
Before we leave, we need to burn these bodies. They'll spread disease, and of course, it will help the souls pass on.
Fire cleanses many things.
Also, it also does a very good job of preventing undead from coming back.
So you look down in this pit that's filled with a good 10, 15 bodies
Hmm.
and drenched from the constant rains and mud.
Right. It's gonna take something flammable, but
By the time Aldrich and Abrish, as you get around the warehouse, most of the village has like made the way into residence. Some of the women removing a few more bodies and putting them in a pile. Kind of very clearly looking around, like where the fuck the halfling go? He said he was taking care of this. Not saying anything for physical reasons. They kind of look at you and look at the bodies, like y'all taking care of this? We can, but you're here.
So these are like bodies that are still.
These are the rest of the menfolk, the rest of the zombies. As you remember, when you came into the village, you heard shuffling in the residences, and you have not gone in, but Aldrich, you recall going into Hilda's residence as an example, that there were several collapsed on the floor from when the whatever was controlling and providing them with unlife was extinguished. All of the zombies fell inert here within the town, well, the hamlet. Okay, use my right terminology here.
hmm.
Um, Amaresh will sort of turn to Aldrich and raise an eyebrow. Well, are we down in Aldrich?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Hello? Is there anybody around?
There's most of the villagers have like begun to make their way back. Like they've brought the children inside. You see a couple more wisps of smoke rising from various chimneys of the handful of residences. Um, there's one or two that have like they're standing outside where they've pulled. There's like 6 more bodies that they've pulled out of housing and are kind of like looking around like, someone gonna do someone with this? And sees the two of you coming around the building, like, hey, good, menfolk, work for you to do.
We will take care of this, don't worry.
Yes.
We will.
Yes, we will.
Fine.
We should put all of the bodies in the pit, and then search the houses for oil.
At that
I'm
mention,
that guy in the group.
one of the two women that are outside by the bodies, Adamant, will point towards that western house. And they're trying to just like you have not realized, like, you weren't here to find out. Hey, by the way, all of them can't talk. As they are trying to charade oil that way. You're welcome to roll insight if to see if you understand what they're trying to say.
I mean, as far as I know, they're trying to make me go that direction. So
Yeah, that's very obvious. Yes.
yeah, so I'm gonna go with them and see where they take me.
Stepping aside, you see the one lady with significantly more years on her than the others, currently hunched over and stirring a large pot. It smells like simple broth being made. She just turns to the door as the floorboards creak under your feet as you enter. And her, having not seen you, like, holds up her little kitchen knife, like, what the fuck's going on?
Fear not, Wicker Witch. I'm here in search of oil. I mean you no harm.
Looks a little puzzled. One of the other ladies behind her is like behind you, just kind of starts nodding, like, like it's okay. Um, she shuffles towards the back of the residence where there's a handful of crates. Lifts up the top of them for a few of them before finally drawing what looks to be a small, well-sealed wooden cask.
Okay.
And like kind of holds it, looking at you like is this what is that what you're looking for? You're pretty sure it's about a gallon of lamp oil.
Oh, okay. Yes, this will do nicely. A gallon is a lot. This
It,
will work
it's,
quite nicely.
it's quite a bit, yes.
Yes.
It's almost like it's supposed to be used for every building in this place for a very long time.
It's all right. They'll resupply. They'll prosper.
um, she
But yes, I will take it. Say yes. Thank you, ancient one. I will put it to good use. And head off.
she looks so fucking offended. Like, yeah, she's got a bit of gray, but she's like late 40s.
You described her as elderly.
As yeah, most of the other women are like mid 20s, early 30s.
Uh huh. Hey, I don't know what the
You're fine.
average lifespan in this. She may be ancient, but
she as you're turning away, she like does like a rough pat on your shoulder, quickly running, well, scurrying to a little writing nook by the door and scrolls out on the back of the paper and just like the one word, uh, are you with the other three?
I will nod and say yes. We currently travel together.
Um, she kind
With is a strong word.
of lights up a little bit. Still a little spurned by the ancient one comment. And goes over to the pot, the little cast iron pot by her fire, and draws four heavy mugs, wooden mugs of the broth, and like goes to try and hand. Like you got the cask under one arm. Like, hey, this is for you.
Okay, 4 mugs of the stuff, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Do I know what this is? Is it like some potion or?
It smells like broth.
Like
Just straight, just water and whatever the hell she was able to find.
okay. I'll I'll hold the cask so that she can place them on top, and I will attempt to get them all back to the rest of the party.
Okay. Give me an acrobatics check. Because balancing is involved, guys.
Uh-huh.
Actually get to use that.
Acrobatics. That was a 16 for a second.
It's a 6.
Yep.
So, the three of you, as you guys are kind of in the midst of helping with the rest of the bodies, Ari, you split off, and you've got the two sisters with you. You see Adam come out. He's got the cask, and he's doing a stellar job. Like, it's a little pitiable because the rain is going straight into the mugs. There's nothing covering these things.
Uh-huh.
And like right as he's about to get to you guys, and you see the glorious steam of this nice warm gift, he trips over one of the discarded farm tools and sends them splashing about. Fortunately, not scalding any of you.
That's disappointing.
Well, I'm not sure if it wasn't poison anyway. Have you gotten the rest of the bodies in the hole?
By now you would have, yes.
Yes. Can one of you conjure fire
No.
through magical or other means?
Hold on.
I have a tinderbox.
And I can turn those flames purple.
What benefit will that do?
They will be purple.
Why do you have that skill?
Because it's part of one of my spells.
Why are you able to do that?
Because my god says I can.
So, like, nobody here can make fire? I mean, it is raining. It's gonna be hard to do with a tinderbox.
Outside of a tinderbox, not I.
I think we went over this like during the last fight. We don't have any fire.
Right.
This is where the GM
well,
will remind you that in the center of the town, still burning, now reaching its dregs, was a
I was
large
literally going to get to
bonfire.
that. Yeah, I was gonna get to that. I was gonna say, on my way into town, I saw a large bonfire nearby. Maybe someone can gather some flames from there
And
while I soak the bodies.
all the residences, like all four of them, now have wisps of smoke coming out of their chimneys.
Yes.
No. I think we can do this on our own.
Just average there for like 30 minutes with a tinderbox. Just, it ain't working. Why isn't it working?
I will give him guidance to help with this.
Oh, God.
I swear, this just reminds me of when I was in Boy Scouts and we had to make a fire in the snow to like get our fire and shit. And like
The war.
everybody else is trying like all their things, and I was like, dude, I have matches. It's
Oh
like,
no!
let's just use the matches. No, we got to rub sticks together in the snow.
Our troops did not allow matches. They were emergency only.
What? Here's the thing. Ours only allowed matches with people who had already earned it.
Ah, there.
Yeah.
We were flint and steel all the way.
Yeah. But no, it was one of those. We're not building a fire.
Funnily enough, considering my most famous character, I was shit at it.
So,
Yes. Anyway, fire.
by the time that you arrive, Adaman, with some fire from the bonfire, Aldrich is really trying to get Aberish to try and get down in this now lamp oil soaked pit of death with a tinderbox.
I'm not doing it.
You can do it. I believe in you.
I do not want to burn to death.
I will heal you.
From death?
You won't die. I'll pull you out before then.
About basically by this time, with a simple toss, the bodies conflagrate, and it's.
I was just about to get it.
No, you weren't.
Yes,
You
I
were-
was.
He's stroking the striking tinderbox
Right.
on no tinder at all.
Correct.
But so Artie, you yourself making your ways around, basically trying to get the blood flowing and keep some degree of warmth with the the constant rain. Fortunately, to my knowledge, all of you have cloaks, so it's not horrendously a bother. You're mostly dry. The Lilith and Little Sada are constantly on your heels. As the four of you now are standing around a large pit of burning death.
Nice toasty warm.
Yes.
Ignoring the bonfire behind us.
So as of right now, the only other notable thing is that tug in your stomach, leading you back towards the woods from whence you came. Um, None of the villagers come out to try and talk with you. You kind of have the lay of the land, the just the openness of the town. Um, it is at this point getting into the later half of the afternoon.
If the kids are determined to follow me, I'll probably just go back in with. I don't know. I guess it sounded like people are going into multiple houses, so just ask around, find the best place for them to be for the rest of the day and the evening, and I can hang out.
Okay, so you would probably end up dropping off with Hilda more than anyone. As many of the other women took in several of the other children already. So the houses are quite packed. As they just hear this loud woof of fire from behind the warehouse. Did you pour the whole gallon in there?
Yes.
Yeah, they don't need that, of course.
It's raining. I have to make sure that they burn.
It
to
is a
ash.
thorough soaking of oil. Yes, sir. And they are so far away from the ocean. Lamp oil. Ah. But
Yes. If we're done here, but we're still looking for the cart, right?
Yeah. As of right now, the only building that the party has not thoroughly been through is the warehouse itself. You guys popped in, went straight to the prisoners, and got them out, and then straight back out.
Okay, let's go
Do we need
investigate.
to find the cart?
Could hold some clues.
Right. So yeah, we should search the warehouse.
Yep.
Because I mean, if there might be other people that are like still in there as well. We have to make sure like we clear it out.
I'll let you guys know where I'm gonna be at, just because
Yes.
figure the kids don't need to watch the work that's being done or be out in the rain.
Yes.
They'll get sick.
Or have them make any more unfounded accusations.
It's been a lot of trauma recently.
Yes.
Ah, childhood.
This kid's gonna be fucked up if she survives to adulthood.
She'll be an adventurer, just like the rest of you.
Yeah.
With a specialization in vampire hunting for some weird reason that she can never explain.
Yeah, that's really weird. What are your thoughts on it, Abrash?
I think we should head to the warehouse.
Okay.
This line of conversation.
Yes.
So, Adaman, Aldrix, and Abrash, the three of you enter the warehouse. It is poorly lit. Even with your dark vision, everything being that annoying shift of grayscale, because the bonfire itself, as no one has added any wood throughout the night as of yet, it's at this point providing just enough light to reach to the door, whereas before it was pushing its way decently within the building. Centermost, you vaguely make out the presence of the milling machine itself. This large series of adjustable saws. To the left of which you see a pile of timber. And to the right you see a pile of still unsorted and unworked logging. Making your way to the back, you see three individual hand carts. All of them have been stripped of whatever was inside, as best you can tell. But it is Aldrix with your passive, even at your dark vision -5. You do catch that you see the other little leg of the teddy bear that was ripped off.
I will go check that out.
That's it. It's just a little teddy bear leg.
Oh. I will cast light to get us back to full.
Okay. So as you illuminate the building, I believe you typically cast it on your shield, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It is not a pleasant scene. You can see over to where the prisoners were. They were literally sitting in filth, where they were kept. You can vaguely make out the fire through that one little brick that you recall Pencil saying he had knocked out to be able to slip them some food. But otherwise, you are greeted with the sight of machinery industry as best as it can be here in the wilds. And with the light, you now notice. So you have the two bars, the handlebars for like lifting and driving the hand cart. Yeah.
Yeah.
That same face is about 4 inches thick, and you see on the inside of the actual cart's cargo area that it is a drawer.
I will.
It has the tiniest of like, what the fuck is this going to be able to do kind of locks on it.
I will go up, investigate the lock first, like make sure there's no traps.
Okay.
I do not expect this to go well.
You're pretty sure it's not trapped?
Okay. And then I will try to break the lock.
Okay.
Again, do not expect this to go well.
Just
Strength.
Strength, yeah.
I will cast guidance on myself beforehand.
Yo, God, how do I break a lock?
Well, considering my... Oh, okay.
Okay. So you grab like your go-to utility dagger and quickly strike it between where you would normally insert the key, and with a hard shove, you just remove the lock from the drawer, knocking the very simplistic tongue on the back out, just knocking it loose. Made it completely useless at this point, or easily able to open up the drawer.
Then I will open the drawer.
Inside, it is another book, much like the one you had found on the body, a shipping manifest. Dates, numbers. It's in a different handwriting, sharper. I believe you got a 13 plus intelligence off the top of my head.
Yes, I got a 14.
Okay. Most of this is more like the strokes and just the general printing are most importantly, the dates are from several years ago, upwards of, you want to gauge probably 16 or so years. The GM, well, he did make a calendar for this campaign. He doesn't have it open in front of him. As you get to where there is a pressing there in the middle of the book that sort of forces the pages open, inside you see a pressed flower with a paper ribbon around it, uh, Miriam and I can't read my own fucking handwriting. Fuck. Hey guys, this is why you shouldn't write your GM notes hastily in cursive while inebriated.
Cursive. Just excessive.
That it's when I don't want to take my hand off the paper, kind of writing. Alistair, Miriam and Alistair. You're pretty sure this is effectively like a wedding lock, a tie.
Gotcha. Flip through. Anything else stick out?
That's general shipments, which most of which are to here to falls to other nearby villages of grains, cloth. Seemed like a family business kind of thing.
Gotcha.
But as the date hits about that 16-ish year ago period and it gets closer and closer, it's the script changes from we'll define it as a more masculine hard stroke to the feminine, very clean, crisp writing that you saw in the other book.
Okay. I will flip through the rest of it, do a quick scan. Nothing else sticks out at me. Put it back in the
Passively,
drawer.
no.
I will take it and then actively look through it later.
I meant just passively for the entire scene. That's what you got.
Gotcha.
What is everyone else doing? You clearly see Aldrich's like paging very quickly through a book.
I'm just going to continue to search about the place. Don't expect to find much, but we'll see.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
I already clicked investigation.
That's fine. Go. What were you gonna do, Abrish?
He was gonna help Ottoman.
Okay. So go ahead and roll again, Edmund.
Investigation again.
Okay.
You're welcome.
You're welcome for the 8. So as Aldrich, as you're flipping through, Adam, you make your way around, manage to not find of anything that you can immediately pick up, pocket, and move on with your day until you get to the hand carts, where the drawer is currently propped open. Inside you see what looks to be a wooden insert that lies decently flat against the base of the drawer. There, as you go to lift up, you hear the very clear sound of coins clinking.
Coins clinking.
You're fairly confident that this is just a small coffer.
A single copper coin.
Coffer.
Coffer.
Yes, multiple coins just in a very small box.
Okay. I'll look into the box. See what we have here. Jingle it back and forth a little.
You'd wager very just kind of with your fingertip moving the coins about, quick counting. It's all in copper. It's like it's been used from village to village. You'd add it up to just under 3 gold in copper.
that'd be like 300 copper?
278.
278. Okay. I'll just add that to my inventory. Keep track of it for the party. Let them know where it was spent. Who else was here? Like, I know
Everyone but
Aldrich
Ari.
was... Okay. At Borish. Since Aldrich has got his nose in a book, Eberish, do you
Yes?
think we should give this money to the townspeople here to help them rebuild?
Well, we have done quite a lot already.
Yes, yes. Some more than others, but yes.
So we are adding feeling to murder. Got it.
Like, I was like the cleric can hear you guys.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying that, this town has been through quite a lot. And,
So have
most
we.
of their menfolk are gone. Maybe this would help them,
Maybe they could use their coin to compensate some menfolk. That would be us.
I will point out it is less than 7. It is less than 70. Wait, no.
Yeah.
278 copper. So about 7 silver a pop is what we would get here.
I did
Just-
not realize you were from nobility rolling around in coin.
They could use this money far more than we can.
maybe a compromise. Give half to them? Again, a mere 150 copper is not going to change our lives, but it could really help them start theirs again.
Fine, give all the copper to the villagers, yada yada, poor miscreant villagers.
So we're back to giving it all to them.
It's fine, you will never shut up if we take it, so.
Here, Albrecht. I will hand him one of my 10 gold pieces and give it to him.
Alright, sure. And,
There, alright, happy now?
and just pocket it.
Good lord.
I'm sitting here thinking, wow, he started with money?
All right. So
I had it, but I used it.
for the most part, there's nothing else of substance that you are able to find here within the warehouse.
Oh god, now I'm gonna have to go talk to the old lady again.
You step out the warehouse, the mugs are still laying in the mud.
Mhm. Oh no, I definitely would have taken those. They're still nice mugs.
Okay.
In fact, I've got a great idea. I will put the money in the mugs and keep the little box instead.
Okay.
And then I will return the mugs to her, full of the copper coins.
At a 1 foot by half foot box.
1 foot by half foot box.
It's 1 foot by half foot by like 2 inches.
Yeah, like a little coffer box.
Mhm.
A pour box.
So who all goes to the residence for one? For the record, or you would see them coming out of the warehouse.
I mean, unless seeing something that causes alarm, I figure I'll hang out with the 2 girls and keep them here.
Okay.
They don't go wandering around.
So if you're keeping them there, the rest of your party eventually arrives, all but Abrush entering the residence. Um,
Is he just standing outside?
you notice the only building that he's gone in, or you probably hadn't noticed, but the only building he's gone in has been the warehouse.
Okay.
He helped with the bodies against his better instincts. But Hilda herself she's already in the midst of trying to, as best she can, prepare the bed for herself. She has at some point stepped away and changed to cleaner clothes. As you approach with the now coin-filled, mud-covered mugs,
Yes.
she looks at you just kind of quizzical, not sure. She's like, you can tell she's annoyed of not being able to like very quickly relay information to you.
Right.
But she gives you the look like, "What's up?"
Yeah. We found this small pittance in the warehouse. We believe it may help you to rebuild your town. Also, here are your mugs back. Since you are obviously the elder of this town, I believe you should be the one to see how it's divided.
There is a tenderness to her face, like you can tell she's not used to, and it's not common for such generosity, as small as it may seem to some. As she helps you set the mugs down on a table, uh, she attempts to give you a very warm hug.
No, 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 please. I do not like to be touched. I will attempt to back away from her.
Okay, athletics or acrobatics, I guess. It's a DC 5. She's not actively trying,
yeah,
but this
I'm
is you
just,
trying to get out of the way before she succeeds.
right. I feel like this is more dexterous than,
Okay, you managed to duck under her arms. She's like, looks a little again wounded. But like she hears your words, she's like, oh, she's like, trying to say sorry. Like she was just
yes.
she's very thankful. And she looks to all of you like very happily and energetically nodding at you all. And she does motion like if you still need some more to drink, she motions to the pot. There's still some broth left. But she also then points to the bed like I'm going to bed soon, so you're pretty sure she is not
yes.
offering. Yes, the man wouldn't let her hug him, but she's pretty sure he'll go to bed. Like totally.
That could have been like the very end. I'm not gonna lie. That's where it possibly went if it went really low. But if it was just below what it should have been, I probably would have just went with the sure. I mean, I guess I could sleep here for the night and take the bed, but no, I think that's about all I need for now. I'm going to leave her broth because again, I still am not 100% sure that
it's not poison
or hallucinanic or you know.
before the three of you exit and make your way out, she does go back to where she had the crates, the storage, and brings you guys a fairly sizable piece of canvas that you're pretty sure would make a decently sized tent. You would be sleeping fairly close to each other, but it would at least protect you from the rain, if properly employed.
Ah, yes, this could be useful.
And she again, like as she hands it over, it gives you that wordless and very sincere thank you.
Yes. I think we shall be leaving shortly. I hope that all we have done here will not find this town in dark times soon again. And as I leave, I will wrap this canvas about me.
For the three of you see this, just for the record. Like,
Just
a tent's
Say-
worth of canvas.
What
Oh,
are you
yes.
doing?
Just literally like swirling it about me like a large sash. Just wrapping this thing. Yes, this is going to keep me dry.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Admin, I don't think we should be really leaving until morning, because the kids are coming with us, and I think they could really use a rest inside for the night.
yes. Let's see if we can get the canvas off of our.
But the madman has
but-
has already created his cocoon.
What about our cart and the camp that we left behind? We should gather our things, yes?
He will emerge in the morning a beautiful lunatic.
And when we left it like half a day away or something, I'm sure we can collect it
It's not that
as we head
far.
back.
Well, you're pretty sure that the camp that he's talking about is the little setup, not too far away. But if you guys want to, for the most part, there's no beds in the housing. The girl, she made it clear that the girls were going to stay, but she's not, per custom, going to have strange men sleeping in her house.
Oh, and she wants me out as well. Okay.
Yeah.
I was missing that fact. Okay.
Like, she does point to the warehouse. Like, if you guys really are adamant about not going to your camp, there's the warehouse. But you're pretty sure if you left now, you would make it back to camp before the sun fully sets, which does again have all of the rest of your stuff, because you guys came here with just your weapons and a tinderbox, apparently.
Yes.
I was trying to remember why we were actually leaving stuff.
Haste.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I was told at the beginning of the session was that you guys had went into the town and I stayed with the wagon.
Yeah, he's talking about like just right here, just
Yeah,
outside
just-
of town,
just
not the one
outside.
all the way back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
what I thought he was talking about.
Yeah.
The,
No, just like outside of town where we left the wagon, and while I was watching the wagon, I had a small campfire. Nothing.
Yeah, I was thinking I still had like my backpack, which has like pretty much all of my stuff I can carry. I try to keep light.
Yes.
I
So-
mean, yeah, we can head to a camp, or I mean, I don't know what you guys saw in the warehouse, but it's dry, isn't it?
Yeah.
And full shit.
I wasn't gonna bring that part up yet. It is technically dry, Ari. I don't want to sleep here.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. They didn't have a really good place to take care of their poop.
Oh, and they were staying in that area
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Yeah, I can take a bit wet of a camp.
Yeah, and we can use hopefully Ottoman will allow us to use his new robes to create a tent for us.
Do you think we will extract the madman from his cocoon? I think not.
So, um, as you arrive at camp, Adam, I believe you have a description you want to give.
Yes. As everyone arrives at the campsite near the wagon, what you guys see is a small burnt out campfire with a log that was like rolled up to sit on. Um, any contents of the wagon have been sprawled out around the wagon as if it had been searched in some way. And sitting on the log is a rather drained looking halfling that turns his head and looks at Aberish and waves.
Scheiße.
And that's where we fade to black.
That is gonna